Royal Canin are a bunch of hypocrites, and in this video I am going to explain to you why. But before we start, my name is Sam, I'm a dog and cat nutritionist, and today we'll be discussing the Royal Canin Fresh Health Nutrition, which is a gently cooked food that Royal Canin have just come up with. After decades of brainwashing everyone about kibble and how kibble has all the nutrients and vitamins and everything your dog needs.
With all the vitamins, minerals, healthy fats and macronutrients that they need.
Now they have changed tone and they have introduced a gently cooked food. So today we are going to be reviewing this food and what it can potentially signal for the future of pet food. Now the launch of Royal Canin Fresh Health Nutrition marks a significant innovation as our first gently cooked food, tailored to unique health needs at each life stage. Royal Canin Fresh Health Nutrition was developed with the same philosophy and scientific rigor that Royal Canin is known for, they say on the launch. Now the first take I have is, are they backtracking? Are they realizing that you, the consumer, are listening to people like myself, like many others, who are saying, how about reading ingredients? How about looking at ultra-processed kibble and determining whether a food is good or bad based on the ingredients, not based on other horse hockey, based on what the total protein content is, which is the most expensive macronutrient? What if they are now seeing that people like yourself are a lot better equipped at making decisions for our pets, and they are saying, well, we now need to change course and we need to introduce this. They firstly did this partially when they bought Origin and Acana. And Origin and Acana, if you think about it, are premium kibble brands. They are very, very meat heavy, here in the UK anyway. The first 5 ingredients in Origin dog food are fresh from meat sources. Fresh chicken, fresh turkey, fresh this, fresh that. None of these whole grain corn, maize, sugar or sugar derivatives that Royal Canin puts in the kibble. No, Origin sat atop of Royal Canin and virtually everyone else. And these folks at Royal Canin saw that trend, saw that people were buying better kibble, and they thought, you know what? We want a bit of that. Well, I think this is the next step, which leads me to the second point. Is the monopoly crumbling? Are vets now going to start recommending other gently cooked foods for their patients? Think about it. If you went to your vet and they came out with this and they said, hey, look at this, it's gently steamed. And that means that by us gently cooking something, it preserves a lot more of the nutrients, rendering the addition of other synthetic nutrients and vitamins and minerals completely useless. Guess what? Because we are using better ingredients, cooked at lower temperatures, and that overall is much better for your pet. So, is the monopoly crumbling? Are they going to start distributing these through their veterinary practices, for which they own so many, and are they going to start feeding your pet a bit better? Is the monopoly crumbling? I mean, after saying kibble, to come out with a new cooked food only validates what I'm saying, and it's only validating what other people are saying about what dogs and cats need overall, which is very similar to what we need, which is fresh food, minimally touched or minimally processed foods. And those whole minimally processed foods focused on ingredients are the best diets for all of us. And by the way, if you are curious about what the best dog food is, you can download a free guide, How to Feed Your Dog Better. The link will be down below. It's completely free. Now, do not get me wrong, these aren't very good foods. I mean, we have brown rice as the first ingredient. We then have pork and yellow squash, spinach and fish oil, vinegar. They also add salt, which I don't like in pet food. I don't like brown rice. I don't like things like natural flavors, which are very unspecific. So all in all, this is a very carb heavy meal. These are very cheap meals to manufacture if you compare them to better cooked products or to raw food. Why? Because protein, meat is very expensive when you compare it to rice. if you compare a kilo of rice and a kilo of lamb at your local supermarket, at your local Costco, or wherever you are in the world, you will see that rice is much cheaper than lamb. And that is the only reason why Royal Canin, among others, namely Hills and Purina and many others, by the way, put wheat gluten, rice, wheat, barley, corn, protein meal, and all that sort of nonsense in the food because it's cheaper, because what they want is the minimum amount of input for maximum amount of yield, aka profit. It's not what's best for your pet, it's what's best for them. So what are the positives? Are there any positives from this? Well, number one is get yourself out of kibble if you can and move into this. If you are a Royal Canin customer and you think Royal Canin is amazing and you disagree with everything I say and you disagree with looking at ingredients and you disagree with my overall take and you think Royal Canin is amazing, change your pet's food from kibble onto this and your pet will be a lot better. Why? Gently cooking, gently dehydrating things is a lot better than cooking at very high temperatures, oftentimes twice, to render nutrients and everything into a powder so it can then be reconstituted into a brown pellet, which is how kibble is made. Kibble is made by powders, combining powders together and pushing them through an extruder. And that is not the best nutrition for anyone. That's highly ultra processed garbage, which has very minimal meat and very minimal protein content. As we always say, you want to be paying for protein, you want to be paying for meat in the supermarket and in pet food. So that's the first positive. The second positive is people are waking up. You are waking up, I'm waking up. Everyone is waking up. The jig is up for all these veterinarians recommending Royal Canin this and Purina that and Hills this and you need a vet recommended pet food and kibble is best and oh no, stay away from cooked things, stay away from DIY and dog food. Well, this is somehow DIY because they are putting recipes together in a cooked form. So they are putting individual ingredients and cooking them gently for your pet. So this is very similar to all the articles they have criticized everyone for in terms of raw food, in terms of cooked foods, and in terms of people DIYing their own dog food. So now, who's right and who's wrong? It seems like we were right all along. If you think about it, it also validates the way people are consuming and the way people are thinking about pet food. Pets are now family, and the dog and many cats have gone from sleeping outside, from sleeping downstairs, from sleeping on our beds, and everything, the whole industry is changing, and pet food companies need to change with the times or they are not going to survive. Royal Canin at least is trying to move with the times, but not out of choice. This is not a choice, this is a necessity. We are hurting Royal Canin and we are hurting Hills' business models. We are hurting Big Kibble, and these companies are producing better foods because people are buying those better foods, because people are demanding a certain product like this one. People are saying, I don't want any added sugar, I don't like corn protein meal, I don't like wheat gluten in my pet's food, and I do not like rice in cat food. I don't like sorbitol, which is a sugar derivative, which is prevalent absolutely everywhere. And guess what? We aren't going to buy that food, we are going to buy this instead. And this is now going to be the consensus moving forward. The pet industry needs to change. Enough of telling pet parents that brown pellets that are arid is everything your dog or cat will ever need and want. It's ridiculous. You wouldn't sit down across from the table with your GP or doctor and they would prescribe you an ultra processed diet every single day and sugar 2 or 3 times a day. That's absolutely ridiculous. Now, we actually made a video about the big kibble cartel or the big conspiracy around kibble, and I highly encourage you to watch that video next because it's an absolute eye-opener and you cannot miss it.